If you're watching this video, just know, your mental health matters, your life matters, and of course, you matter. I, BC King, care about you. Welcome back to Gaming Hot Takes, a series where I read your hottest takes about various video games. In today's video, I'll be reading your hottest takes about Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. As always, hot takes can be positive things, negative things, criticisms, praises, or anything in between, controversial opinions as well, so with that said, let us get right into your hot takes. Wait a minute, hold on. Before we start, I gotta give a very special shout out to my sponsor for this video, Fluffle. If you adore anime plushies, graduation plushies, and more, then this website is for you. Use the code BCKing15 to save 15% on your first purchase. And use the link that is in the description. And come on, who wouldn't want one of these things? These things are amazing. Go get yourself a plushie because they're amazing. With that said, now let's get into the video. Precursor orbs should have been a major lore point in advanced technology instead of just currency. You know, I actually kind of agree. I mean, the game is called The Precursor Legacy, so when you see anything called Precursor something, that does kind of make it seem like it's, you know, very, very, very important, which orbs are, because, like, you know, you can do stuff with them, but, like, I do kind of agree that they should have had a bigger importance, because they are Precursor orbs. I mean, they do have more importance in, like, Jak 2 and 3, but, because this game is called The Precursor Legacy, it is kinda, you know, weird that the orbs called Precursor orbs don't have a, you know, a huge, like, story to them. They're not really part of, like, you know, they don't have, like, more to them than just being currency, as you mentioned here. So, I kind of agree. I mean, I'm fine with them being what they are, but yeah, when you have a game called The Precursor Legacy and you have these orbs called Precursor orbs that don't really do a whole lot for the actual lore of the story, it is kind of weird, so I do agree with you there. Again, they're fine for what they are, but yeah, I think I'm with you. I would have preferred them if they were a major lore point for the story. It should have had a more faithful sequel to its tone. Level we have, but it's hard not to admit sometimes how amazing much more of this would have been. So I've seen this exact take a lot, where it's like people were kind of actually turned off a bit by Jak 2 going for like a darker tone versus the first game's like, you know, lighter and upbeat tone. I love Jak 2's tone. I thought it was a really nice departure from what Jak 1 presented. I can see why people maybe aren't fond of it because, you know, Jak 1 was very lighthearted. It was, you know, very Banjo-Kazooie-esque. And, you know, going away from that to, like, more of a GTA sort of setting, which we'll get to in a future hot take, I think, or maybe not. There was one take I saw where it's like they tried to do too much to look like GTA at the time, which is kind of fair, but, yeah, I can see why you would think that, but Jak 2 is such an incredible game, and I think it does build a lot off of Jak 1 versus the tone and whatnot. Like, yeah, the tone is a drastic shift, which, again, if you're not for that, then you're not gonna like Jak 2 a whole lot. I love it. I love hearing Jak talk. I love the dark eco stuff. We'll get more to Jak 2 in its own video once we do a Jak 2 gaming hot takes video, but, yeah, for me, I was fine with it. I love Jak 2's tone. It was a good departure from Jak 1 in a good way. But I can definitely understand why people who maybe love Jak 1 to death and it's like their favorite game and it is like their favorite game in the series would probably be a bit turned off by Jak 2's tone. But for me, I was good with it. But again, I understand why maybe some people would have preferred a sequel to the tone of Precursor Legacy versus what Jak 2 did with its darker tone. Even though I didn't grow up with the game, I feel so much nostalgia for it. I do wish that Go and Maya came back. The way that Samus alluded to their fate felt like a sequel hook, and learning that they didn't come back kinda left me nettled. Yeah, Go and Maya, I think, of all the final bosses, I think Go and Maya are like the ones that people just want to assume are not dead. Like, Jak 2, you know, the Baron obviously died. Errol we thought died, but was in Jak 3. Mizo died in Jak X. We saw Phoenix die in Jak, The Lost Frontier. So, yeah, I think of all the big baddies in the Jak and Daxter games, I think, oh, and also Crew from Jak 2 is a good one. But, yeah, I feel like of all the big baddies in the Jak games, these ones are definitely the ones that people, like, are so certain are not dead. And honestly, I don't blame them because at the end, they just get submerged in dark eco, right? In, like, a giant robot head. And they're basically Dark Eco sages, so they don't get hurt by Dark Eco, I guess? I don't know, or they can control it. So, you know, like, I kind of agree here. Like, I would love to see them do, like, a Go and Maya return for, like, Jak 4 if that ever becomes a thing. Because, again, I feel like knowing what Go and Maya are, like, being the Dark Sages and being able to, like, manipulate Dark Eco, I just feel like the way they went out wasn't good enough to justify them for sure being dead, right? Like, they're probably still in that robot head, just swimming in Dark Eco, but not dying to it, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, maybe one day we'll get Jak 4 that brings back Go and Maya. I would love that, because I'm pretty sure I think they're not dead. I am with you there. I think they're still alive. I think there's more to tell with their story, because there wasn't really a whole lot to them in Jak 1. They were fine characters, but there wasn't a whole lot to, you know, dig up from their lore and story and whatnot. So, yeah, let's just hope that Jak 4 or something becomes a thing in the future and brings back Go and Maya, because, again, I feel like there's a lot more they can do with Go and Maya's story and their characters. Naughty Dog should have included a Yellow Sage's hut / themed area like the others. I always found it weird and kind of rushed that after getting through the Red Sage's volcanic crater, you just sort of end up at the Citadel. So if you don't know, there was some cut content in this game. They did like a whole thing about this, right? I think it might be on the CD, I don't remember, or it was said somewhere, but yeah, there was cut content, including the Yellow Sage's hut and whatnot. So it was supposed to be there, but because of, like, you know, time development, time constraints, whatnot, they just cut it out. So I'm pretty sure there would have been a Yellow Sage's hut, or I guess more after the crater, but because of like the time crunch and just them wanting to get the game out when they were gonna get it out, they had to cut some stuff out, and that was what they cut out. I was fine with it. Like, I felt like going to the crater, or going from the crater to the Citadel was fine. I mean, yeah, there was more they could probably do with that. Like, you could tell they kind of rushed it in that area, but I was fine with it. It felt fine to me. And again, this game is still a full-fledged, like, experience, right? Like, even though there is some, like, parts where you can tell they cut content, it's still a great game, right? Like, would it be better with that cut content? For sure, right? Like, Yellow Sage's hut and more to the crater, for sure. But, what was there I thought was fine. It was good. It was still a very good experience of a game. It's a pretty short game, too, so, I mean, you know, I don't think adding the hut would have done a whole lot for the length of it, but, I don't know. Again, I was fine with it. Cut content happens in games all the time. Like, it's just gonna happen based on, like, development and time crunch and whatnot, so, yeah. What I thought was there was pretty okay. All the people who had power cells should have just given them to Jak for free since he was trying to save the world. Am I crazy for agreeing with this? Because, I don't know. I mean, again, the whole point of the game is to do these, like, little quests to get the orbs or the cells from these people, like, you know, do side quests for them and whatnot, so it's just the game's structure. I mean, other games have done this before, where, like, the NPCs are holding items that you have to do quests for them to obtain, so it's not a new concept, but, like, I do kind of agree, because, like, if you're trying to save the little world from destruction, and these people are just holding the things you need to save the world, like, making you do quests for them, like, especially the hard quests, you know, can be kind of mean, but, yeah, even though I want to agree with it fully, I mean, again, the game is structured like that. It's there for a reason. You're supposed to do these quests to get the cells, so, you know, even though I deep down personally agree that they should give them for free because you're trying to save their little world from destruction, you know, that's not how games work. Games are supposed to, like, make you do quests to get items, and so that's just how games are, unfortunately. Go and Maya were okay villains, but I don't get why the fandom make them seem like the greatest villains ever. Like, sure, I want to see them somehow return and we get more story with them, but they were in the game for like 5 minutes. Most of that being the boss fight of just hearing them repeat the same lines. That is a good point. They do not have enough of a presence in this game to, like, justify being the best villains ever. Like, they don't top Crew, they don't top Baron Praxis, they don't top Errol, they don't top even Mizo, which is not even that's also not a great character from Jak X in my opinion. But, yeah, I mean, that is kind of the developer's fault for not giving them enough, like, backstory and more time in the game to fully develop their characters. Like, what was there was okay, right? Like, they had enough time to, like, you know, sort of justify being the main villains of those games, but being the best villains in the entire series, definitely not. They're, like, you can tell once you beat the game, there is so much more they could have done with their characters, but because the game was kind of rushed a bit, and because they just didn't, I I want to say they didn't pour their full heart into it because they did. This game is still fantastic, but like you can tell at the time like there was definitely more they wanted to do, but they couldn't because of reasons. So I think if we had gotten that like cut content, like we might have gotten more of Go and Maya just being baddies and more to their backstory and lore and whatnot. So yeah, I agree. They are okay villains, but they're not the best villains. I agree. They don't top a lot of the other ones. They might be the worst villains of the entire series. Maybe, no, maybe not. I don't know. Because the guy from Lost Frontier was kind of bad, too. But yeah, I would say Go and Maya are for sure on the lower tier of Jak and Daxter villains. Stop! Now she'll die a virgin. Stop! Stop it! Okay. Stop. Okay.
Stay the fuck in the fucking car!
Oh, fuck! That was a sneak peek of all the content that you might be missing out on by not becoming a YouTube member. When you're a YouTube member, you get so much bonus content such as all my anime watch-throughs, classic content like old Twitch streams, movie watch-alongs, and more. So what are you waiting for? Hit the join button down below, pick the tier you want, and enjoy all the benefits that come with your YouTube membership. If you're already a member, thank you for your support, enjoy your benefits, and now let's get back into the video. Best game in the series. I know people enjoy Jak 2 and 3 more in certain aspects like story, gameplay, etc. But in Precursor Legacy, there's a simplicity to the characters, level design, and world building that just work. It felt the most unique, and them suddenly jumping into the future made it feel as if they lost what made that first game unique. So number one, I disagree that it's the best game in the series. I think Jak 2 or 3 holds that title for me. Probably Jak 3 if I'm being honest. But this game is still phenomenal. Like, even though, like, 2 and 3, like, did more with the story and the lore and added tons of new gameplay features and just had a better tone to it, in my opinion, this game is still phenomenal. But you did make a good point here. This game is very simplistic. It's very, again, like, very Banjo-Kazooie-esque. It's, like, you know, very lighthearted tone. Not too mind-blowing areas, but, like, they're good for what they are. Good world building, I agree. Level design, characters, and yeah, that does make people love this game more than the others, which is a fair point, right? Like, some people do like the more simplistic nature of games versus, like, you know, Jak 2 and 3 going full-on GTA, darker tone. Jak is talking now. There's more, like, complicated lore in the Jak and Daxter universe. So, I understand that. I love that expansive lore, which I love Jak 3 probably the best out of all of them. But this game, the first game is still, you know, it's got its own identity, it's great, it's got a cool tone to it, good stories, so yeah, I'm not gonna fight people if you think 1 is the best game, because it is like maybe top 3, but for me personally, I think 2 and 3 just do more to elevate Jak as a character, and Daxter, and the world, and the characters, and the story, so yeah, but this game, even though it's not the best game in the series for me, it is still a great game. Red Eco feels like it was not implemented very well. It's supposed to be the Eco of strength, but there wasn't enough gameplay opportunities to show its effect. Basically, all you do with Red Eco was you kill the armored lurkers in one hit, break down the Misty Island bone bridges in one hit, and break metal boxes. That is a fair point. I think for the most part, the Eco balance is fine. I think Red Eco is definitely one they could have done more with, as you mentioned. But I mean, it did its job, right? Like, it made you stronger, it made you able to, like, kill enemies a lot more fluently, so, yeah, but I do think the balance could have been better. I think probably, what is it, green or blue Eco? I think the other 3 are probably more used in the game. I think red's probably the least used for whatever reason, but, yeah, it's a good point. I think red should have been a lot more used. Maybe what they could have done is maybe use Red Eco as a big, you know what? Going back to the cut content thing, what they should have done is have, like, a boss before Go and Maya, which let you use Red Eco the most. That could have been a good point to, like, actually have Red Eco, you know, there. So, I don't know. Just throwing out ideas there. Like, maybe a new area or a new boss could have, you know, helped Red Eco flourish a bit more. But yeah, I agree. Red was kind of underutilized. It was good for what it was, but yeah, it could have been so much more. The fishing minigame isn't even that hard. So first of all, I need more of these, right? I need more hot takes with pictures in them, like this one right here. it's just the fisherman. It's not like a meme or anything, but, you know, you get what I mean. But, yeah, the fishing minigame is kind of a low point for some people, and it is for me as well. I think it's okay, but the controls are definitely not the best. Like, I've done so many fishing minigames in other games to this point where it's like, I can tell when they suck and when they are okay and when they're actually excellent. This one is kind of in the middle of bad to, like, okay. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but the controls are definitely not great. How you catch them is kind of weird as well. It is doable, but, like, I don't know. It could have used some more tweaking, I guess, like, because, again, I feel like it is one of the low points for me of this game, like, because you have to do it for a power cell, right? Like, you don't have to get down specifically if you get the other ones as well, but, I mean, I think some might want to go for this one just because it's convenient. It's, like, in the forest area, so, I don't know. Again, not the worst thing, but, it's not really that hard. I agree with you there, but it is a little bit frustrating. A few of the power cell challenges were insanely difficult for no reason at all, and were clearly like that just to pad out the gameplay time. For example, that damn grab the yellow eco in Spider Caves and run back to the Sage's hut before time runs out one. Oh yeah, that one sucked. I did not like that one. Again, I fully beat this game. I 100%ed it, so I know what you're talking about. A lot of these are fucking annoying as hell, like that one that you mentioned. But again, that is the fun of games like this, right? You're gonna have challenges that are annoying, they're hard, they're frustrating, they make you want to rip your fucking hair out. So again, nothing new when it comes to how these games are structured, right? Because like Mario does the same thing. I think Banjo was the same way. Conquer was probably the same way as well. So I feel like these types of games are always gonna be like that, where it's like most of the stuff you gotta get is either easy or at least very doable, and then few of them are like actually challenging. They make you like super angry, they make you want to rage quit. So that's just how these games are going to be, right? Like these games that make you collect stuff like Mario 64 style to get to the end of the game or 100% it, they're going to have like the hard missions nowadays, right? Or every now and then, so it's just a thing. So not a huge issue, but yeah, that spider one was one of the worst. I fucking hated that one. Not that the rest of the game is bad, but Act 1 is genuinely the peak of the game. I love the rest of the game, don't get me wrong. So that depends on what you think Act 1 is. Is it like the first hut to the other Sage's hut, something like that, like the first second area? I mean, I'm not really sure about that. I think the final act is good, maybe not the best. Honestly, I think the middle act, which is like the third to fourth area, like from, I forgot, but anyway, the first act I would probably say is not the peak. Like, it's good, but I think like right in the middle of the game is where it's at its best. Like, the ending could have been better for sure with Go and Maya, because it did feel a little bit rushed. Act 1 was good, but I think that middle portion, like maybe Snowy Mountains, Spider Caves, like yeah, there's like stuff to hate about it, like frustrating missions to do, but I feel like for me, that was the peak of the game, because I feel like the level design was definitely the best in those areas. So, yeah, but Act 1 is definitely good, but I would say like Act 2 or 3, again, based on what you're classifying the acts as, or like where they take place, or like how long each act is. I would say the middle acts are probably the best part of this game, at least for me personally. Subtitles would have completely eliminated the whole white eco / light eco confusion and debate. I'll do you a bit better there, or I guess one bit better. Just have them in the game in general, because there are so many times in various cutscenes where even if I turn the character audio all the way up and turn the music down, I can still barely hear what they're saying. Like, that was just not great audio design. Like, I'm so glad that Jak 2 and onwards had subtitles, because they kind of are needed for certain cutscenes in those games as well. But this one for sure definitely needed them. There might be some mods out there for this game that have subtitles, but I don't know. Like, this game could have benefited from them, because again, there was just so many times I was trying to hear the characters to know what the story was and to know what they were trying to do, and I couldn't understand them because like they were so quiet. The speech was not clear enough, so yeah, like having subtitles, and again, I feel like those weren't really a new thing back in the day, right? I feel like early PlayStation, early whatever, Nintendo, like they all had subtitles in some way, right? So I'm pretty sure they could have done that, and they just didn't for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they assumed that people would just be able to understand them, but I definitely didn't for the most part, so I could have used them. So, yeah, again, thankfully Jak 2 and onwards, they have subtitles, we're good there. But this game, the very first game, Precursor Legacy, could have really benefited from having subtitles because, again, a lot of what the characters say is pretty hard to understand. Alright folks, that is it for your Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy hot takes. And I'm sure that some of you watching this have a hot take for a game in the future, so make sure you guys are following the BC King Gaming Hot Takes Reddit page. Link is right here or in the pinned comments, so go check that out when you can. But in the meantime, make sure you guys subscribe, ring the bell, and smash that like button for more to come in the future. And I will see you guys, as always, in the next one. Goodbye, everybody!